Hey everyone, it's Nifty DGen, the Bonefida intern, back with another quick tutorial. This time we're going to be walking through setting up your URL and CNAME records using Records v2. So for those of you unfamiliar with Records v2, I will be sure to link a more in-depth video that we did about this powerful update in the video description below. But in short, Records v2 allows for partner DApps to verify that a record on your domain is not stale, meaning that it was set by you and not a previous owner, making it irrelevant. And it also allows for the ability to verify the authenticity of a record by proving ownership using on-chain and off-chain oracles. So let's quickly talk about why you'd want to set up the URL or CNAME record in the first place. Our ever-expanding list of partner DApps are always finding new and creative ways to utilize these records, for instance in their user profile systems, but there's also some really cool functionality related to these records and web resolution. Thanks to our friends at the Brave browser, your SNS domain will actually resolve to your URL or CNAME record in their browser. We also have a proxy service that allows you to use your SNS domain on any browser. I'll show you guys how this works later in the tutorial. Now, it's not required that you prove ownership of your URL record. You can set it up to be something like a social media profile, where obviously you don't have control over the domain. But if you do have a domain that you control and you'd like to set it up as either your URL record or even your CNAME record, which will actually require proof of ownership, then all we have to do is head on over to our DNS provider. I'm using GoDaddy, but this process is going to be the same regardless of provider. And the first thing we're going to want to do is just turn on DNSSEC. Okay, great. So next we're going to want to head on over to our DNS records, add a record, and we'll be adding a text record. And the name is pretty simple. It's just underscore SNS. And the value is an A followed by an equal sign. And you want to paste the wallet address of the wallet actually holding the domain. And then click save. Great, now you guys can see the text record is set up. So when it comes to your SNS CNAME record, you're going to want to be sure that whatever domain you enter for that record also has this text record because ownership verification is required for the CNAME. So let's head on over to sns.id and I'll show you guys how to set these records. Alrighty, so let me go ahead and navigate to my profile. And you will see our beautiful new profile page design. Scroll down, go to your collection, and pick the domain that you want to set these records on. I'm going to use this one, and then I'm going to scroll down to records. So you will actually see now that Records v2 is the default on our application. If maybe you need to look at some of the older records that you set using v1, you can use this toggle here to look at your older records. But for now, v2 is the default. So let me scroll down, find my URL record, and then let me go ahead and set this up. So I just click on the edit icon and I'm going to want to enter the domain that we set the text record for using DNS. So that is this here. I'm going to click next, click update, and then I'm going to confirm this transaction, which is behind my head. My wallet pop-up is right there if you guys can't see it. I'm going to click confirm. Great, and then you should see that ownership is verified. So that's all it is for the URL record. Now it's going to work exactly the same for the CNAME record. You're going to want to enter the CNAME record without the HTTPS and without the www dot. So I think mine is just akashrajan.com if I'm not mistaken. Let me update this. I will click confirm. And just like with our URL, we should see that ownership is verified. So now quickly, let me show you some of that cool functionality I mentioned earlier regarding web resolution using these URL records. So I'm on the Brave browser now, and all I have to do is enter my sole domain, and it will literally resolve to your URL or CNAME record that you have set up. How cool is that? Now, this also works in other browsers. You just have to use our proxy service, and that just looks something like your .sol domain 02112.sol. All you got to do is add a -domain.org, and it should do the same thing. Again, it resolves to this portfolio site that I set up in school, so please, no judgment. That's really it, guys. It takes just a couple of steps to unlock this super powerful utility made possible by the magic of Records v2. I personally think the Brave browser thing is so cool because I'm just entering my .sol domain, which is not only my human readable on-chain identity, but can now resolve to any old URL of my choosing, which I think is awesome. Now, this video was mostly geared towards users, but if you're a developer and you want to integrate verified records into your application, we do have a more in-depth tutorial about that. I will link that in the video description below. If you're a user and you need help with this, or if you're a dev and you want to connect, please reach out to us. We're available on Twitter or on Discord. Until next time, guys, intern out.